In the year 2014, the Majingilane coalition invaded the western sector of the Sabi Sands Game Reserve. These four brothers were the kings of northeastern Sabi Sands since June 2010, and now they had their sights set on the western part of the reserve. The invaders were determined and rapidly took over the Othawa Pride and slaughtered all the offspring of the former kings to father their own. In February 2015, 3 cubs were born into the Pride, 2 males and 1 female. These 3 cubs were introduced to the Majingilane males and the Pride at a very young age. Their future was sharp, as their fathers were a strong band of brothers, and the Othawa females were extraordinarily good hunters. The year 2016 brought new challenges for the Pride, and the mother of the cubs perished after being attacked by hyenas. Just a few months later, one of the male cubs vanished as well. The remaining 2 siblings started exercising the essential hunting techniques whilst playing. At the start of 2017, one of the 4 Majingilanes passed away due to old age and health difficulties. Just a few weeks after his passing, 2 young and confident Avoca males entered the western sector. The Othawa females didn't appreciate their arrival and threatened the Avocas, who were eventually forced out by the Majingilane males. This brought much-needed stability and security for the 2 siblings of the Pride, who were now beautiful subadults. Both siblings spent the year strengthening their hunting abilities and started to contribute to hunts. This was a much-needed help for the adult females, who were now 10 years old. At the start of 2018, 3 new cubs were born into the Pride, but sadly, all 3 Majingilanes perished by April due to old age. This put the young cubs of the Pride in fatal danger, as they were open to the attacks from any rival coalition of males. The 3-year-old Othawa male, for the time being, was the only adult male in the western sector, and this is when he came forward as the caretaker of the Pride. At first, he began babysitting, but shortly he started to get bolder and louder. When the territory of the Pride was invaded by a few members of the neighboring Mangeni Pride, the Othawa male assisted his Pride in chasing out the intruders. He was beginning to act like a dominant male. When the 2 big old Matimba males arrived in Othawa Pride territory to fill the place left by the Majingilanes, the Othawa male left behind his sister with older Pride females and began his nomadic excursion. His nomadic days didn't last very long, however, and he bumped into the Mangeni Pride, which was relinquished recently by the Birmingham Coalition. The Mangenis quickly accepted him as their Pride male, and one of the females soon gave birth to 3 of his cubs, who sadly didn't make it. During the first half of 2019, the Pride, along with the Othawa male, persisted in Singita, but moved south during the second half. Moving south was a strange move, considering they had no pressure from any coalition or Pride. Perhaps they were looking for food. Pride's expedition to the southern half of the reserve stopped in January 2020, when a coalition of 4 Nwazwitchaka males began proclaiming themselves as the owners of the southern Sabi Sands. After a year and a half of losing their first cubs, one of the Mangeni females gave birth to 2 new cubs in July. 2 females followed soon after, but the timing of the birth was not looking very fortunate. A coalition of 3 Tumbela males was hanging around the borders of their territory. With the constant threat from the Tumbelas hanging around the corner, the cubs were flourishing until February 2021, when 4 Nwazwitchaka males entered the Mangeni Pride territory. Beneath the cover of darkness, the Nwazwitchakas were seen sniffing the air as they were looking for someone. They returned south the next morning, but not before destroying all but one of the cubs. During the following weeks, the Othawa male began to act differently. He used to invade the Birmingham Coalition's territory in the past, but he never truly challenged them. This time, however, things were shifting dramatically. When the Mangeni females were giving birth to more of his cubs, He was jabbing into the Birmingham territory, roaring, scent marking, and coupling with the females of the Birmingham Coalition. Disregarding the authority of the veteran coalition was the absolute act of defiance which was reflecting towards a very harmful conclusion. In May 2021, the Othawa male traversed deep into the Birmingham territory, pursuing the roars of a Birmingham male and female of the inhabited Kambula pride. This daring move turned out to be his final, as he most likely ran into more lions than he had guessed. The audacious advancement of the king turned into his tragic end on that dreadful night. The Mangeni pride still has cubs fathered by the Othawa male. It's highly unlikely that these cubs will make it, as there's lots of other males who will most likely take over and will try to eliminate the cubs in the approaching months. Let's hope that everything turns out well for all of them.